Welcome to Something to Talk About. This is a program from the Bainbridge Island Senior Community Center. I'm Reed Price. I'm the director of the center and happy to have you here today. It's already April. I can't even believe it, but here it is. And April is Earth Month. And we're going to be talking with folks about what's expected and what's available for all of us to participate as Earth stewards. Put an extra cross of the T or dot of the I this month coming up, April. But first, before we do that, I want to acknowledge that we are meeting on the ancestral homeland of the Puget Sound Coast Salish, the Suquamish people, the people of the clear salt water who have lived here since time immemorial. And when we think about things like caring for the earth, we certainly have much to learn from the tribe's stewardship of these lands and waters, and we're grateful for their hospitality. I also want to thank Fieldstone Communities of Bainbridge Island, which sponsors Something to Talk About. They offer independent living and assisted living, along with a vibrant memory care up on Rolling Bay. You can get a tour, find out about day stay and respite care programs. Drop by 206-594-1010 to schedule a tour with Celia or Jamie, or you can just come by the Fieldstone complex there. Right around the corner from Bay Hay. The website is fieldstonecommunities.com. So I got talking with Barbara Okota, who is on our board of directors, about Earth Month. And she, of course, is very active here at the center and making every month Earth Month. I really appreciate that, Barbara. And we've done a lot of things over the years to try to be more mindful, using reusable water cups and borrowing from Sustainable Bainbridge when we're going to have an event and want to avoid using disposable cutlery. And I mean, that's just and of course, you've been doing a steel and aluminum metal recycling, which has been very successful, and we really appreciate that. So thank you for suggesting that we talk about this right now, and I'm going to let you just get us started. We have a few other people here that we'll touch on as we go.
So I guess since January, there's been a committee of a lot of environmental groups on the island planning Earth Month and developing things to put on the calendar. And so maybe if you just go through that calendar now, Reed, that might be a helpful way to sort of get an overview. And then I'll ask Diane if she's got anything to add, just start us with anything from the Sustainable Bainbridge perspective.
Okay, well, what I'm looking at here, for those of you who might not be looking at the video, is a website that is sustainablebainbridge.org/events. And it's a list of upcoming events. Diane Landry is with us. She's been the nexus of Sustainable Bainbridge for many, many years and continues to wrestle with getting the newsletters out and all that too. Thank you for joining us, Diane.
Hi, thanks for having this program. Reed, could you go to the homepage? Could you go to the Celebrate Bainbridge? Yeah, just scroll down a bit. And because we have a special page devoted to Earth Month, there it is. And if you click on that, it'll have all the activities that the various organizations have sent in. Starting with, if you notice right up at the top, there's a card. It's a bingo card, Earth Month bingo. And this year, anyone who plays that and gets a bingo, including Four Corners if they want, will be put into a drawing for an Eagle Harbor gift card.
Oh, great.
So yeah, so just taking a look at that list, and we have more activities coming in as April approaches. People should check back on that. There's just so much going on. So I'll leave it there and let others speak to what they have happening.
Okay. Well, it looks like the first step is the Zero Waste Open House, and that's the city is sponsoring that event. So it's not Bainbridge Island Zero Waste, which is just citizens who've been volunteering. You know, Diane's been doing this since 2010, but it's the city sponsoring a zero waste open house at the Bainbridge Senior Community Center on Thursday, April 10th.
And it looks like if you show up, you have a chance to win too. A food cycler, Eco 3, whatever that is.
I don't know. We'll
It's
find
your
out.
food scraps that, well, we were just at somebody's house who has one. It's about the size of a trash can, and it's at the end of her counter, and she puts all her food scraps in there, and it gets composted overnight basically, and then she puts it out in her outside compost to just finish curing, and it's an easy way to take care of food scraps.
Great. It's next gen for me. I just take them out in bits and pieces and hope for the best.
That works too, I think. And then we've got the metal fabrication, Saturday the 12th. Fix it at the barn. So we go back. And then the next is my pet project is the scrap metal recycling collection. So for those of you who don't know, I think it was spring of 2023 at the Zero Waste Farmers Market booth, I put out a bin for small scrap metal recycling. And so once a month, people would bring me all their small scrap metal. We're not competing with Bainbridge disposal. So it's not the cans, soda cans or soup cans, but everything else, jelly jar lids, all kinds of stuff. And so at the end of the season, I asked Reed, could we have a permanent home for these bins at the senior community center? And he, as he always does, graciously agreed. So we've been hosting that bin, that collection process since October of 2023. And in last year, calendar year 2024, we collected over half a ton of scrap metal. So it could be aluminum foil, it could be heavier things, folding ironing boards, mailboxes. It just has to be able to fit in the back of my Prius is the only limit. And then this year we also started having a twice monthly sorting party at the senior community center to sort aluminum into metal, into steel. And then every 4 to 6 weeks, I load my car up and take it down to the scrap metal recycling facility in Port Orchard. And I did so on Monday, and I got $35, which I donate back to the senior center. And we, in that short period of time, had collected 60 pounds of aluminum, which is fantastic. So anyway, we're going to open it up April 12th to an outside drop off. There's a curved driveway. If you're not familiar with the senior center, curved driveway leading up to the front door. And we're just going to help people unload whatever they bring in their cars. We wanted an opportunity for people who work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, to have an option to drop off their stuff. So if you could spread the word, people at the center are pretty well informed about it. But if you could spread the word and also clean out your garage, clean out your junk drawer, bring me your keys that you don't know what they go to anymore, or your 2 or 3 extra IKEA Allen wrenches, or start looking around. Diane brought me the frame of a metal of an umbrella, so there are lots of things, and you'll see the picture in the slides in a minute. So next is the botanical event at Islandwood, which is just a great online, a great island resource. They have fabulous.
Megan, it looks like Megan might want to pop in here.
Go ahead.
Did you have
Maybe
something you
it
wanted to
just
say?
Depends on your flow. If you're going chronologically, I could talk about the Bainbridge Island Environmental Conference, but if you're going, but it's up to you how you want to
Yeah,
run
if we're going chron and that's not on the calendar, yeah, please talk about that.
It's right there.
There we go.
Where am I
Yeah.
seeing? Oh, I
Yeah.
skipped it. You're right. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So jump in.
These things are fun. Yeah. Probably maybe I can just share my screen. I can show you the website for that one. And I know
That'd be
Colin
great.
has some land trust things he'd like to share too.
So just introduce yourself, Megan, if you could.
I will. I want to make sure I'm sharing the right screen. Here we go. My name is Megan Merson. I'm a community education coordinator for the Bainbridge Island Land Trust. And
I'm Colin Brady, the executive director here at the Land Trust.
yeah. So I'm going to pull up this real quick because it's ongoing, and then I'll also share with you about the Bainbridge Island Environmental Conference.
Great.
Yeah, so if you don't mind us just I just want to highlight some of the stuff that the Land Trust is working on, and then Megan will highlight some of that's current events, not necessarily like broadly about the Land Trust. But right now, a lot of you have probably, hopefully, all of you have heard of the Stand for the Grand campaign, which is to protect 40 acres on the north side of Grand Forest East. And on your screen, you'll see that's what's highlighted in red. And right now it is managed by effectively managed by the Park District, but the Park District doesn't own it. It's owned by the school district. And we are in the process of working with our partners to raise the funds to purchase these 40 acres and to add it officially and permanently as part of the Grand Forest Complex managed and owned by the Bainbridge Island Park District. So
Great.
that's something that I think everyone should be aware of some place you could take action during Earth Month that's right here locally. And then if you want to switch to the next, another effort that some of you have heard of, actually, do you want to talk about that?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Do you want to do the
The Rotary one?
Yeah, I didn't.
So, oh, you didn't. So some of you had probably heard there's a pretty significant, and that for a long time, it was the only blue heron rookery on Bainbridge Island on Lovell. And we launched a campaign a month and a half ago to purchase that rookery. There are about 25 nests, and I don't know how many birds usually show up there. Do you?
There's 6 so far. that
6
people
birds have come back already this year. That's great. And so they'll be there throughout the summer with their fledglings and new little baby herons. But they something that the Land Trust heard from the community, and certainly a priority of wildlife habitat protection, it is always a priority of ours. And so we evaluated that property, and we announced that we were working to acquire the property, and the Bainbridge Island community and partners really stepped up. And so we're excited that we are nearing the very end of the needs for the financial needs to be able to purchase that. And we hope to close within the next few weeks. So that's really exciting. A lot of people were inspired by that. And it's very cool to have that right here on Bainbridge Island. Yeah, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, we
and then
can.
we have some other events that we want to
Yeah.
weave in, but
The one that was, sorry, I'm navigating the covering of the Zoom. So the Bainbridge Island Environmental Conference is Sunday, April 13th in the afternoon. This event is a big partnership. So Sustainable Bainbridge, I'll go down to the bottom where the whole list of all the groups that are involved. The Bainbridge Island Environmental Conference has shifted around over the last few years. It's run by Islandwood, the Bainbridge Island Land Trust, Parks and Trails Foundation, EcoAdopt, and Sustainable Bainbridge. This year, our subject is, it's nature counts, but essentially the idea is to help people get out and involved in nature, seeing and observing what is there, connecting with it. So the model for it this year will be a little introduction to community science and some of the cool things that are happening on Bainbridge right now and year round. Then we'll have split out into taxa teams, so you can pick, if you're really interested in amphibians and reptiles, you can go with the amphibian team. If you're really interested in insects and bugs and creatures, you can go with the creature team, and you can learn about that particular group of organisms. And then we also are helping people learn how to use iNaturalist and Seek, which are two, usually they're phone-based, but there's also a desktop version. You can go out and point your phone at anything, really, anything alive, and it will give you some ideas about what it might be. You can take a picture, upload it to the power of our collective intelligence, and have friends from all around the world help you identify what exactly it is you're seeing. So this this Bainbridge Island Environmental Conference gives you an opportunity to hear about what's going on, to go out with some fun people to learn about cool creatures, and to hone your community science skills so that a couple weeks later, you can get engaged in the City Nature Challenge, which we'll get to in chronological order. So, yeah, thoughts or questions on that? That's the thing we have going up that time.
To find out, to sign up for the environmental conference, what's the right website?
You go to that Sustainable Bainbridge website that Barbara and you were sharing earlier, and then there's a page for the 2025 Bainbridge Island Environmental Conference, and you can click there to register.
Great.
Sustainablebainbridge.org. We're going to keep talking about that one, I guess. Okay, thank you very much. Barbara, shall I go back to the
Yeah,
list?
please.
Okay.
Okay, so there was the other event at Islandwood, another Islandwood event, Spring Skills of a Naturalist, Breakfast with the Birds. And And then on April 19th, that's a Saturday, the county is sponsoring a styrofoam collection event. So it's free and it's the only one this year. If you've got styrofoam, if your neighbors have styrofoam, you might consider, using the biggest vehicle you can access to take your stuff to the county drop off at the Kitsap County Fairgrounds.
Is there anyone from Bainbridge bringing a load to, having people collecting it here to bring to Bremerton?
It's Silverdale, and I'm not sure. Oh, it is. I'm sorry, it is in Bremerton. I'm not aware of that. So maybe something to try and organize online. And then
It's a tricky thing to do because you never know how much you'll get, and so if you have a vehicle and people bring more than you have room for, so it's better. We think at this point it's better to do it just locally, like within your neighborhood. If you know you're going down, ask your friends, or if it's a business or a building, with people, the employees there, ask them if they have stuff if you're going down.
This is an opportunity to organize cells of happy recycling styrofoamers.
Yeah.
Something.
Hyper
Okay.
local.
Think very
Okay.
local. Okay, so that was, and then we have a film festival at the Museum of Art.
And Friends of the Farm are apparently sponsoring or coordinating this evening, so that's a good thing to attend. Next one, we've got another Breakfast with the Birds at Islandwood. And then a City Nature Challenge, Kitsap on April 25th to 28th, multiple locations.
So Megan, did you want to speak to that? You said you would jump in there.
Yeah, sure. I'll be happy to. So,
Great.
yeah. So the City Nature Challenge, this is a global community science event. It takes place every year, but this particular year, a lot of Kitsap entities are coordinating to run and events at the same time. So, oh dear, it does that every time. Can I just drag that? No, okay, well, we'll just close tabs. All right. That's another event. That's another event. Let's skip to this one. The City Nature Challenge this year, I'll scroll down to the map. This is on the bi-landtrust.org homepage, and then you can get to City Nature Challenge through the recent news and upcoming events bar on the right here. I just want to get down to the map to let you know. I think that their last count, we had 20 different entities participating in the planning meetings for this. Kitsap Audubon, City of Paulsbo, Kitsap Parks and Rec, all Bainbridge Land Trust, Islandwood, we're all on board holding a bunch of different events. And the idea, once again, is to give people an opportunity or an excuse to go out with your friends, to go to one of these guided events and just connect with what's around you, see what's there, look closer at the lichens. So you'll see if you go to this page, and this flyer is distributed in a few different places. For Gamble Forest Heritage Park on Saturday, you can go and join one of these walks. On Sunday, so North Kitsap is on Saturday, so like Bainbridge is on Sunday, there's Islandwood and Blodell. You go out, you can sign up or ahead of time, or you can just drop in, and people will help you learn how to use Seek and iNaturalist. The cool thing is that every observation that goes into iNaturalist during this Friday to Monday time period at the end of April, the 25th through the 28th, contributes to the global tally of biodiversity. So in mid-May, there will be announcements talking about how many creatures were observed, how many observers there were. There's this kind of mild competitiveness to it. Last year, a city in Mexico won with the most observations. So we'll see how we do this year, but it should be a lot of fun. You can go with your neighborhood. If you're curious about how to use iNaturalist or Seek, you're welcome to reach out or search for it. It's quite a cool program. We could do a whole something to talk about with those tools. But that's coming up, and you can find more information about this on the Sustainable Bainbridge webpage and through the Land Trust's website.
I just want to say that I was thinking the same thing. It would be great to do for you, for Bainbridge Island Land Trust, to do a talk about this and also the nature challenge. I think that's a great idea.
Maybe if we get closer in the month and you are so inspired, Megan, give me a call and we'll do a walkthrough on either Seek, iNaturalist, or both.
Yeah, that'd be
Anyway,
so much fun.
yeah, looks cool.
Pass it back to you.
And then I see there's a Shred Fest. The Kiwanis are going to be at High School Road at the former Columbia Bank on April the 26th.
Can I just say
Uh,
something
About
about
that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just, I mean, if you want your paper, if you want shredded paper to get recycled, take it to a shred fest, because the shredders there will take it directly to a paper recycling plant. Otherwise, you cannot recycle shredded paper in our regular recycling system. So if you want it to get recycled, do it at a shred fest.
Well,
How
how do
many-
they do that?
So many rules.
Or-
Yeah. Well,
That'll
it's
make
all
them-
about it's all about the oddities of markets. And I know that we talked earlier this month with a zero waste lobbyist in Olympia about the idea of trying to streamline some of the rules in our state around recycling and composting to make it easier for us to be good citizens. An ongoing effort, to be sure.
Well, Reed, I had a reaction to your comment of so many rules. It's like, no, Diane just gave us one rule. Take it to a shredding event.
Right, but I mean, I can't take everything to the shredding event, and I have
No.
to hold my styrofoam. And I mean,
No.
I could complain, but life's been good to me, so I won't go on. Okay, the Earth Expo. I see we have somebody here from Parks and Rec.
Hi, everyone. I'm new. I just started with the district about a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months now. My name is Sierra Cross. I'm the new volunteer program manager. So for those who know of Morgan, she is my supervisor now. And yeah, she's done awesome work. She organized the Earth Expo last year, and now this year it's my coworker Emily Swift, who's kind of pioneering that effort this year. It's going to be great from all I've heard from Emily. She's organized a lot of the vendors and is doing a lot of the organization with you all to table at the event. It should be an awesome day to just celebrate all the things that we appreciate in the Bainbridge Island community in regards to nature. And we actually have a great project happening at that time. I work mostly in habitat restoration, so I'm going to be over in the habitat restoration part of that event. But like I said, there's food, vendors, music happening all day from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Battle Point Park. The Habitat Restoration Project is going to be located in the same area as that event. And it's going to be focused on kind of building off of the 3 prior work parties that we have going on in Battle Point. So I would love to share my screen and see how you can get involved with more of the habitat restoration work. That's okay.
You should be able to do that now.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right. Can everyone see this portal?
No, I guess I need to stop sharing somehow.
There we go.
Yeah, okay. So this is our volunteer portal. So when you log in or, decide you want to be a volunteer and register and then have a login, you get to this page, and then there's different opportunities that are advertised here. We have a nice Earth Day Expo banner that goes about, reminds you to come by. But for all of our Earth Month opportunities, you can click on Celebrate Earth Month either at the Sign Up Now button or here. And then it brings you to all the opportunities available for Earth Month in our parks. So in addition to attending as a visitor to the Earth Expo, you could decide, I want to be more involved. So you can go to this volunteer project button, and it'll bring up some information about what the work will entail, what to bring, what to wear. And then you can respond either as an individual or as a team, just to let us know that you're coming. You can also decide in the moment to come by and help us out. But this is going to be an event that's happening throughout the duration of Earth Expo. But this is the last day at Battle Point for restoration. If you want to be involved with the beginning, middle, and end for restoration, we have the conservation work party, which is happening first on April 12th. And this is going to be ultimately getting at the first layer of invasives. And then if you want to focus on improving access, you really like trail work, you'd be working closely with our trails team and myself on the second Saturday. And that'll be here on April 19th. So just improving the trails, spreading chips, that kind of deal. And then, like I said, the last project, Earth Expo, I got myself out of it. Earth Expo volunteer project. That's going to be the last hurrah to get as much of the invasives out of the area as possible and put some wood chips down to make sure that they don't sprout back up. So that is kind of the main deal. We also have our regular work parties that are happening at Red Pine Park and at Moritani Preserve. So this is our portal. And then again, to get here, you would want to go to our website. And you can get there by typing in Bainbridge Island Metro Park and Rec District and then get involved, volunteers, and then click on that volunteer portal button. It'll bring you right here. Any
Great.
questions?
And Sierra, I did see that I was able to get to at least the last volunteer for the expo from the sustainablebainbridge.org site. There's a little, if you want to help out here, and that's a hot button. Anybody have a comment or question for Sierra? Okay.
I
Let's
do have one more announcement, if I may, just a
Okay.
harmless plug. If anyone has grandchildren who are in high school age or know of someone who really likes being outside and is in that high school age range, we have the Student Conservation Corps that is now, we're now accepting applications. So doing a lot of that habitat restoration work. It's a lot of fun. And we have neurodiverse Student Conservation Corps and Student Conservation Corps, where if you click on Student Conservation Corps on our website, you'll see all the information and be able to share out the opportunity for them to apply. And we would love for you to share the word. We need some help this summer from them.
Great. And then if you can just stop sharing, that'd be great. Wonderful. And I'll try to get us back to where we were. Let's see here. Okay, we have Weed Warriors Pull at Blodell, more invasive species fighting on April 27th. That's a Sunday. And Islandwood has a Trails Day on April 17th.
Yeah, I think it's normal.
And then, yeah, did you want to say anything about either of those, Barbara?
Yeah, I did. I want to say that Weed Warriors, I think, was started by Jeanette Franks, who is a longtime member of the Bainbridge Island Senior Community Center, used to be on our board. So she's out there every month fighting those weeds.
And her email is on this page, and you can text her as well to learn more information. And then maybe we can talk about the Refashion Showdown.
Hit it, Naomi.
Sure. So we're, wrapping up the month, I think. And there's just so many different kinds of events you can go to. And there's ones where you can be active and there's ones where you can be watching shows. And this one is kind of a combo. We've just closed up our entries, but we have about 15 or 16 teams of artists and designers who are working all day at Bainbridge Island Art Museum to create outfits and home goods out of otherwise discarded textiles. And these are clean textiles, so nothing to worry about, mostly upholstery samples or denim jeans or cotton that has just been unused or dead stock, which means the kind of material that maybe a company would order a lot of material and then they would cut it up and have a lot of scraps that they're perfectly new material, it just wasn't in their pattern. Or let's say an upholstery company would order a bunch of fabric, and then the next year they decided that they were discontinuing that style and they just have leftover rolls of it. So there's a lot of textiles out there like this. Refashion is a little bit different than a lot of these other organizations in that we don't generally see the results of textile manufacturing on Bainbridge Island because we don't have any large scale manufacturing of textiles on Bainbridge Island or clothing. However, we all wear clothing and we all use textiles. And a lot of that process, unfortunately, is really opaque. And a lot of it is really detrimental to people and to the environment. And we've offshored most of that. We've offshored not just the manufacturing and the dyeing and the chemical usage, which there's hundreds of chemicals go into textile usage, but we've also offshored the disposal of it. So we send a lot of our trash, our landfill trash, to the global south. So this is an environmental justice issue. It's also a really fun event where you can see creativity in combating this kind of ignoring of textile manufacturing and textile usage and overconsumption. And we're trying to kind of combat that because we're trying to use what's already made. We're trying to use what's out there and make amazing, fabulous creations and create a lot of joy in the community. We're having an evening event that you can come to. That's the showcase. So all these artists will have created outfits and items at the end of the night, and you can see where all this creativity can bring, a small part of the solution to all that waste and overconsumption. That's the call for artists. So that is over, but we should have a poster that was sent over. That's the show that you can buy a ticket to. And we have a website for that.
Great. Yeah. Just have to juggle all these various things. Here we go.
Yeah, there's a lot of different pieces.
A lot of different things people want to show, but I have it here. So
we also have a lot of students that are involved. So we're getting our youth involved in this. We have a lot of students from the age of 5 all the way up to through high school who are going to be doing a jeans and t-shirt challenge. So one of the things we know about Bainbridge Island is we love to sell t-shirts and give away t-shirts. So we'd like to curb that practice because I think there's enough t-shirts on the island so for everyone to wear 50 at a time. We're going to have the students remaking t-shirts because if you want a new t-shirt, you can just redesign t-shirts that already exist, and we're going to show off some of that.
all right, so the next time that we try to have a conversation about, what we really need at the Senior Community Center is a branded t-shirt.
Please, no merch. When I hear the word merch, I just start to like shiver. You don't need it. Yep.
We should have some sort of a get together where we take old t-shirts and somehow brand them.
Well, we did at our last year's event, we reprinted old t-shirts. We did a printing press activity where you could print the backside of your t-shirt or a piece of it. And we have new shirts from that, new designs. So.
Thank you, Naomi Spinach. Sure. Barbara, anything else you want to add? I think we've gotten to the end of our list here.
I think so. I just want to say that the refashion has evolved over the years, and it's just really interesting every year. And it always just impresses me as to how creative people are and have been. I mean, it's just astonishing. So, and this year you could buy a cocktail and watch the models come down the stairway with their incredible garments on. So,
this event has often sold out. I mean, I know more than once. You've had to move venues more than once.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we sometimes had 2 shows. This is a slightly different one, but yeah, we are excited about the format this year where people will be marching down the staircase of the art museum, which is pretty exciting, and then through the galleries. So it'll be great fun, great way to see the art museum and see the beautiful architecture there, and also to see the creations that people made.
And I remember that some years you have shown the winners in town afterwards. Do you have any plans for that?
We are hoping to do that. We are still working on that, but that's on our list. But usually, we'll have a display of the winners after the show. Stay
tuned. Yes, Barbara.
So this is not in Earth Month, but it is about garments and reuse. So twice a year now, we've had a group on the island that collects clothes. There's a 1-day donation drop off at the Filipino American Hall. We had this was it last month? And
Last week.
last week it's maybe we should move it to Earth Month. But anyway, this
Thank
year
you for that suggestion.
Diane weighed the donations as they came in, and we received 2,300 pounds of clothes, which is huge.
In
And
one day. Yeah.
in one day, in like 4 hours or something. So they get laid out on tables and put up on racks and hung on the walls. And people come the next day and take whatever they want for no money. And so because we weighed stuff, we learned that 80% of the donations were taken by people who came on Sunday. And the leftovers, we put all the kids' clothes together, and those go down to Bremerton to KidVantage, a nonprofit. And then a small percentage went to Goodwill, and the rest went to, was it Helpline? Fishline?
Fishline in Paulsboro, because Helpline doesn't have capacity for
So
clothing.
Fishline has a thrift store, Second Season, which we work with. That's another thing, is that if you're going shopping before you go online, you could visit Bargain Boutique or the Waterfront Thrift Store at the Senior Community Center or Second Season in Paulsboro, and see if what you have is there at a price that you can certainly afford.
Or you could go on your Buy Nothing group, or you could go on Bainbridge Island yard sale if you can't get out of your house or your apartment, or Facebook Marketplace. So there's lots of options.
I want to thank you all for organizing this, a huge month ahead. And if you want to go back and check, it's sustainablebainbridge.org, and some of the other links I will have in the box underneath this video, so you can find them more easily than scrolling back to try to listen to it all again. Thank you all for showing up. I appreciate it. Very, very exciting. And Barbara has one more comment.
No, just thank you, everybody. This was really interesting, and there's so much going on our little island. It's really amazing.
It's great.